Greetings, Mindcrafters, and welcome to another exciting Minecraft discussion on this beautiful, wonderfully rainy day. If those of you aren't aware of the weather sitch in Vermont, it's been raining basically forever. I mean, I'm a big fan of rain within reason. Kind of slows life down, journaling, hot tea, that sort of thing. Um, can get you motivated to clean a closet if it's the weekend and you can do that, kind of thing, but within reason. So we've had a lot of flooding. Anyway, so what I'd like to talk about today is the topic of success leaving clues. Success leaves clues. It's not just like people just wake up one day, and after the clouds have parted and the success fairy sprinkled, magical success pixie dust on their heads or something while they were sleeping. That's just not how it happens. And I read voraciously, and I listen to, I've got some really great podcast picks that I listen to a lot. And a lot of them are they're all of them have the thread of positive psychology, and some are entrepreneurial and just about moving forward and living your biggest, best life. And all of them, I don't usually use polarized words like that because for the most part they don't exist in reality. However, the great thinkers on this are saying the same thing, like different language sometimes. But so success doesn't just, like, again, the pixie dust thing. Success leaves clues. And in fact, Tony Robbins, I love him, by the way. He's in my friend circle. He just doesn't know either. He says that people, like successful people, are basically being rewarded publicly for what they do with diligence and tenacity in private. Successful people have routines, and they practice them to the point that they become automatic. And so it takes less and less effort. Can even become effortless. I'm trying to see I happen to have that right here. I swear to, well, I don't swear to anybody, but I did not plan this. This book, Effortless by Greg McGowan, I've been dipping into that just over and over and over again. So lightning strike me if I'm making that up. No, it's real. This is really good. His first one is Essentialism, actually, which I also loved. It kind of sets the premise for this one. But anyway, the whole thing with successful people is that there's clues along the way. They're leaving clues because successful people kind of sow seeds. And again, it's through diligent practice and rehearsal, and it's to a point where it becomes effortless. So it's not like they're really, kind of killing themselves forever. It's about rehearsal and routine and practicing moving forward. So successful people live deliberately. This is so huge because we walk around making decisions all day long, right? We make some actively and some passively. And what I mean by that is, we're making decisions from what we're going to have for breakfast and lunch to bigger things like work and relationships and traveling and big purchases like a house and things like that. But even the little itty bitty tiny decisions like who to go to lunch with and things like that. No matter what, if we can sort of inject as much consciousness into all of our decision making as possible, meaning set the bar, do your best, life is going to work out way better for you, way better for you, because decisions are made one way or the other. So obviously things work out better when we're choosing it versus throwing caution to the wind and just letting it go. So that's super important because successful people also choose, speaking of decisions, to wake up early. I don't think I know anybody who's successful, and I know a lot of successful people on different levels, some really, 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 really successful, and every single one of them wakes up early, with hands down. And this is the thing, because we want to get the jump on our day. This gift of a day, we want to get the jump on it. We don't want to wake up hurried and rushed and stressed. You have the coffee machine set on whatever timer thing, and then you're hurry. You're not even enjoying the cup of coffee, the warmth, the taste, the smell. I'm actually a tea drinker, but I do like the smell of coffee, and just feeling all that. I do like to hold my hot teacup mug, especially in the winter, and just kind of caress it, like, oh, it's another morning, and I'm waking up, and I'm back. And think of the alternatives, right? I'm back. You're back. And so to have that whole thing, when we're rushing through that and throwing it in one of the to-go things and out the door, you go, we don't want that. We do not want that. Not that it can't happen on occasion. With a successful person, probs not too many times. So we don't want to wake up with that chaotic energy. How we choose to prime our days to unfold the best that they can. Obviously, there can be a curveball here and there, but if you wake up with deliberate intention, your day is much more likely to unfold in your favor. That's just how it is. And successful people, they, whatever, we really prioritize how we invest in our life minutes. We are aware that our life minutes are valuable, precious life minutes. Well, they're the most precious commodity, if you can label it that we have, right? So we are very conscious of how we spend those, because we want to minimize the waste, which is why we are super good with our time management or time creativity, because when we plan out what's essential and trim the fat on what isn't, this leaves way more life minutes for us to enjoy the ride, as well as to really, funnel that energy into what we really want to do, right? Because where the focus goes, the energy flows. We know that. And then typically with the morning routine, there's usually some sort of exercise routine with at least, again, every successful person I know. And again, that's a lot of people. I know really, so I have some good vibes in my life, and success defined in all different kinds of ways, right? There's usually an exercise routine, because we are very aware of the mind-body connection. And it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be a gym rat. It can be a walk. I mean, currently I have 2 injured feet. My happy little feet are a little injured. We're going to take care of that soon. So all I'm able to do right now is go for some short walks in the woods with Giovanni, whereas I would be running, but not this summer, because I got to have the feet dealt with. But I'm still able to thankfully walk in the woods with G for short ones, and that's enough. That's okay. That's something. It's peaceful, it's calming, it's centering. I can do all my whole morning, after my gratitude journal, my whole prayer routine. I can become centered with the brooks that are out there, because they just speak to me, and I do my 4-4-8 breathing, and I can walk all around this loop that I have that's easy for me right now by the beaver ponds, and that's enough. You don't have to be a gym rat. You also can be a gym rat. If you have a yoga routine and you have a weightlifting routine, good for you. But the point is, I don't know one successful person who doesn't do something, even if it's for 15 minutes. My oldest son says this a lot, 15 minutes or whatever, 5 minutes, better than no minutes, right? And then also, successful people usually have some sort of positive affirmation, something that they take in each day. It can be where'd that go? I have my book someplace. Oh, it's over there. Anyway, okay. So that's a daily kind of that book is actually not a meditation book. It's more positive affirmations, or I guess that could be meditative. Sometimes it's a daily meditation. There are lots of those books out there. Some of them, or most of them, actually, many, let's go with many non-denominational. They're just positive. They're just positive, good thoughts to start your day out with. Even if you don't have a lot of time, I know what has worked for me in moments like that, where the book I have over there only has a page and a half. Hopefully you can wiggle that into your schedule. But even just a positive quote, it works, because that gets you in the frame. And the other thing is to really surround yourself with good vibes, because we do become who we hang out with, and this is super important. And Tony Robbins talks about how, intelligence is obviously important in life. However, he says, it's not the most important, because as we all know this, there are plenty of highly intelligent people who seemingly, can't get out of a paper bag sometimes. They might have a gift in this area and a gift in that area, and that's great. But oftentimes and this is Tony Robbins says this, that it's a person with maybe a different type of intelligence or whatever like that, or who just is aware that maybe they're limited in this way or limited in that way, but they're hungry. They're so hungry. And, for whatever it is, passion that they have. And when you match up that hunger with some discipline. Our routines are so important for success. So I can't say that enough, because the brain loves patterns. Keep at it, keep at it, keep at it. And if you really want to look up something on that, I can tell you, here's a great one that's super short. I think it's like a 4-minute video. The Michael Phelps's routine with his coach. And you don't have to be athletic. It can be, the swimming thing is just a vehicle for it. It works for absolutely anyone. And now he gets his visual to the point that when he gets up on the block to dive in and swim, for the 8 gold medals he earned and won. It generalizes to anybody. It was just like another practice to him in a sense, because he was so rehearsed. So anyway, successful people are really, really good at that, regardless of what we're talking about. It could be starting a business, writing the book, whatever. And so anyway, with Tony Robbins and the intelligence thing, I really agree with him. And certainly, a higher level of intelligence, and they're all different kinds of intelligence, obviously can make things easier. But without the diligence, the tenacity, without passion, for sure, forget about it, right? That intelligence plus $5 will get you a Red Bull. I mean, that's just how it is. And so here's the thing, and we can emulate successful people. It doesn't mean I want to be them instead of me. No, you want to be you. There's only one you. The thing is, you want to be the best you, and you can become the best you can be by watching other people who are a little further down the path than you are. And watch the seeds they sow. Ask them about what their routine is. Ask them how they got to wherever. Ask them, because, and the other thing, the last thing that's super incredibly important here, and if you tap into any of these successful people or you like to know, they will tell you that the fastest way to anywhere is to slow down. And I tell you, that was a tough one for me to ingest and ingest, whatever. Own is my belief system, because with my inherent wiring, with my fast mind, I choose not to say ADHD because it's negative. My very fast, wild, and wonderful mind, that was probably the hardest thing for me to really accept. Oh, it's also in here. I wasn't actually even thinking of this just now, but Greg McGowan's all about that. And how counterintuitive it can seem to people. But really, the fastest way to get to where you want to go is to slow it down, and then to celebrate, focus on these small wins along the way, breadcrumbs I like to call them, and celebrate each and every one of them, verbally, journal-wise, whatever, and celebrate those accomplishments, those moves forward with gratitude. I'm so grateful that person returned my phone call. I'm so grateful somebody gave me a lead and a phone number. Didn't even call them yet. You just got a phone number of somebody who knows their best friend's beagle has a connection to this person, whatever. And to celebrate all those wins, because that's what the people you want to emulate have done and continue to do. So all of this, the whole point is success leaves clues. I'm inspired by Tony Robbins. I think I said that already. I'm inspired by lots of people, but today in particular, him. Success leaves clues. It doesn't it can land in people's laps after they're doing all this stuff. Then it gets easy. There's another person, Brooke, I forget her last name right now, but she talks about all this stuff and how eventually, when you've been rehearsing this for so long, eventually you manifest said business, said book you want to write, said play, said travel, said partner, whatever. Eventually, after all this rehearsal, celebrating all these breadcrumbs, and somebody said to her, how does it feel? For her, it was a monetary thing with the business. And she said, felt like Tuesday. Because when you rehearse something so much and you have all these ducks in a row, and this is your habit, is having all these ducks in a row as much as possible each day, it just sort of naturally, organically happens, and then bang, the manifestation of whatever it is there. So success leaves clues. This is Kimberly Quinn signing off. Oh, here comes the sun. That's kind of a good little omen there to sign off on. Very wet Vermont, but there it is. Okay, have a mindful day.